Hi, my name's Dan Mosley, and I'm the director of Blood Loss, and what you're seeing right now is what we're calling director vlogs. It's something that I'm going to try to be putting out every week, definitely as our fundraising is going, just to keep you guys up to pace with just what we're doing and how things are going. Sorry if it's loud, I'm just in my Philly apartment, which is right on the side of a busy street, so there might be a bus that comes by every now and then, but we'll move on. So for those of you that don't know me, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been studying film here at Drexel in Philly for 3 years now, going into my senior year next year, and so is everybody on our crew. I've been filmmaking since I was essentially 16. I participated in the 48-hour film festival for the past 5 years, and I just signed up for my 6th year, which is also happening this summer, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm also part of the Drexel football team, which is the improv group here, so I do a lot of comedy and other stuff with that, which is really cool to help with my storytelling and make it more spontaneous and other stuff. So that's just a little bit about me, just in case you didn't know. But yeah, Blood Loss is I want to tell you more about the film, because it's we definitely go into a lot in the fundraising video, which if you haven't seen, go to our Seed and Spark, go watch it. It's a pretty zany one take that we decided to do, but we think it pretty much matches the tone that we're trying to go for with the film, so we thought it was pretty cool. But the film, the themes, it's really hard to explain. When this script was first basically brought up and planted, and we were messing around with it and trying to figure out like the best ways to make it perfect, and there was a lot of like trying to make sure that it wasn't like too absurd and too crazy, and that we still had a bunch of character in it. And I think we finally hit the sweet spot. I just finished our 6th draft 2 days ago, as of the time of recording this, obviously, and we really think the 7th is just going to be the final, and that's awesome because we had such a rough patch starting to get it somewhere, and we kept trying to go in different directions, make it more realistic, make it more zany, and we finally struck a balance. And I think it's actually both. I don't know how, but it genuinely is, and I think that's what we're going to be making. I'm just going to walk around, just don't mind the various color temperature changes. Now I'm going back to window. But the film, it's really a film about sanity and sacrifice. Now, what does that mean? Of course, what does that mean? Well, it's about sanity because you have these 3 characters, Chris, Aubrey, and Kate, all of which are totally dedicated to their craft, being painting, psychology, and dance, respectively. And when things don't necessarily go their way, or when things don't really go their way, or they just sort of have another road to go down, they always sort of pick the route that they're in. And they're almost so devoted to what they're doing that they don't necessarily see the whole picture. And each of these characters sort of have their own different blind spots, and they're very good at pointing the blind spots of other people out, but they're very bad at seeing their own. And now with that, it really shows how much they're willing to sacrifice what they're doing. Like, literally, the film is called Blood Loss, and yes, our main character is bleeding out for the entire film, more or less. And that pretty much is the epitome is the epitome of what Blood Loss is about. It's really about what sacrifice you're willing to go for what you think is your own identity, what you think makes you you. And if you don't sacrifice for that, if you just settle on losing that, then what even are you? that's sort of the dilemma that our characters come across, especially Kate, who broke her knee and now can't dance and her career is basically over. So that's why she's sort of got a snap in her head at that point. But yeah, that's really what the film is about, and that's what the themes we're going for. And it's going to be so funny. I know the way that we're planning on making these characters. It's going to be a lot of physical comedy and a lot of, not necessarily slapstick, but very much incorporating the space in with the characters. It's not them just standing in a room talking to each other while like the plot endures with their background as a backdrop, you know? It's, they literally interact with almost everything, and every character sort of has their own props that they mess with, and they keep getting integrated, and then they interact with other people using those props and everything. So I've always been inspired by other people like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton and other people to try to get that physical side of things, so that way you can really understand what is happening physically. And a lot of the jokes are very much dependent on the space and how they're interacting, and not necessarily just sort of like stand-up one-liners, which is like a problem that I see happening with a lot of short films, and I'm trying to steer away from that. Obviously there's a couple in there, but they're very much character motivated, and they tell us more about the characters, which is what I'm excited to do with this film. We're currently in the middle of casting. We had over 1,000 submissions so far, which I've gone through all of them, which takes a really long time, but it's totally worth it. Finding the best actors for these roles has been so much fun. We already had one day of casting so far, and we have our next weekend coming up. And then after that, we'll probably go into callbacks or just find people that we know are perfect for the role. And it's really exciting doing that. And I honestly just can't wait to have my cast and be able to do rehearsals. I'm moving around way too much, but it's going to be a lot of fun making this film, and we would really appreciate your support if you want to be a part of this, because I know this film is very much worth being made, and my whole crew is behind me, and they're all so talented. I'm so lucky to have every single one of them, and we really think that this is going to be something great, and something that you might want to like put on your shelf and you know, have just in the back of your mind to know that you are part of something, or your name in the credits or other stuff. So if you want to go to our Student Spark page and check it out, you might just be on it right now, since this is also where the video is going. But even if you can't donate money, just sharing or following the Student Spark really just helps out a lot. I would honestly rather have like thousands of people that want to do this thing and want to see this thing happen, as compared to 10 people that give us all the money that we need, you know? I'd rather have that community of people that want to see this film get made, because it's gonna get made and it's gonna be fantastic, so you should be a part of that. It's really hard to be that like confident, but I'm working on it. So yeah, I think that's almost everything I wanted to say. I just quickly want to shout out all the people that have already donated to our Seed and Spark, because you guys are really the amazing front runners that are setting the example for others. Just kidding. So yeah, let me just quickly thank all of you. So we have Angela Wilcox, thank you for your donation. Jason Gong, thank you. Jason, I hope you're having fun up in New York. Anthony Yu, thank you so much for donating. I hope Ish Entertainment is doing great. Matt Weiss, thank you so much for donating, man. Tanya Gandevia, thank you so much. I sound like a broken record, but you guys are awesome for doing everything you're doing. Nick Fuhrer, thanks so much. Hope Pagliacci's going well. Arthur Birkenstock, thank you for donating. Shondell Tillman, our very own second AD, who is gonna kill it, thank you so much. My dear friend Kevin Quinn, thank you so much for donating. Ellen Weinstein, thanks so much for donating. And Catherine Birkenstock, thanks so much for donating. So right now we're about a little over 25% of the way there, and thanks so much again to those of you who have already donated, and we're so excited to have already made it this far so early in our campaign, and we really want to keep that momentum going. So, you know, share it around, like I said, and this video, if you liked it, more is coming out, so you better like it. But just let us know what you think about the film, what you think about the campaign. Like, we're very much open to making this a fun experience for everybody, like not just for us, because we're gonna have so much fun making this, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So again, thanks so much for all the support and for watching, and yeah, just keep a lookout for more things blood loss related, and if you're ever posting about it, don't forget to use the hashtag LoseYourBlood2017. We're cool, we have a hashtag, I'm sorry. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.